You playing?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, no clue what the fuck you talking about, though. Hey, you got that, sir. Nah, shit.
Sly,
Close one.
Murray and I can't get inside the palace unless you lower the drawbridge.
I'd love to, pal, but the winch is all locked down. You know where I can find the keys?
Key guards have recently taken up positions around the palace. Sneak
Sup?
in, pick
Sup?
all of our
Sup?
pockets, and bring the keys
I'm
back to
good.
the
Things
lockdown
going well.
bridge.
How about yourself? Next one. Shit. How about yourself? How you doing today? Thought that was gonna shoot me all the way up. Scary man, you still there? Shit. Now, how is freak?
You can use noise to lure this guard from his post. Try ringing that gong and picking his pocket when he returns to his post.
Damn. Scary man, you still there? Yo. Yeah. Yes, sir. Get out of here. Dang. I knew that was gonna happen. Damn, why is it so far away? Seriously. Yeah, nah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. Shut up, bitch. Oh, it's your friends. I'm gonna get some blood with your friends.
Imagine living a mediocre life, a high school student with a simple routine, whose hobbies are playing video games and reading manhwa in his spare time, until one day he finds himself lost in a completely different world, far from his usual reality. But unlike most people, our protagonist ends up enjoying this
Good
situation,
job,
because he's
Sly.
finally living
Now
the
take those
high life
stupid
that every
pieces
good
back to
older
the
Taku
padlock
dreams of.
switch
But just when
over
you
the
thought things would
road.
go well, using his magical powers to live out adventure, things start to fall apart, as the world isn't that friendly. Dreams of a grand magical journey are about to go downhill fast. Our story begins at the protagonist's hideout. He's about to be subdued by someone. The executioner said they're going back to square one. Prices jump in. Reading the file of the hooded figure sells the whole thing. He's 20 years old. His country called South Korea on the planet Earth. Also, his favorite entertainment is playing at PS1 parties. He hates any dessert
Ah,
that
shit.
place.
Okay.
Our boy is deeply frightened. Then the hooded man strikes, staining the boy with blood and leaving him even more terrified. The hooded figure asks if the protagonist is deaf. It says he can help with that by enlarging the ear and mouth. Next, the executioner says things will feel much better. He asks again for many precise answers. Then he brings up the second princess, Ikemi, saying the one who eliminated her. The warrior with Slycooper. He asks if the boy is hunted by that person. Hearing that, the protagonist wonders when all went wrong. His lonely life came to an end. His name is Slycooper, freshman still in school. Nothing out of the ordinary for a student in South Korea. Even his thinking was quite normal with a simple life, so no one would suspect anything unusual about him. However, on a certain day, as he was leaving home, our protagonist came across an elf and a group of rather strange people that left him quite confused because he didn't even know where he was. Little did he know that, at that moment, he would become one of the four warriors of that yet unknown world. Alongside him, three others were chosen. Another high school student, a child, and an elder man. Didn't see who was chosen to complete the quartet, but unlike the others, he got excited to play right now. He was finally the protagonist of an innocent story in a parallel world. He believed he would get to choose weapons and skills to help him in his adventure. He even shouted aloud for his status window to appear, but that only made him look crazy in front of the others. The elf quickly explained that, unfortunately, they don't have status windows there. They do have skill. She says her name is Princess Latanya, and she's happy to work with this group. But first, she wants to check the skills they possess. The first to be evaluated is King. Her reaction when using the device on him is rather alarming, and the princess says he has the skill of strength. But before she can say more, her guards are all taken down, and she herself becomes the next target.
Sash!
A mysterious shadow attacks her, wounding the princess right in front of her. Ken is shocked by the scene, as the fist of the mysterious figure pierced through the princess's body as if it were nothing. The princess tries to say something, but due to her injury, the protagonist is still extremely confused and stunned. Then, the mysterious creature finishes its attack. She kills Britannia right before his eyes. Seeing all that things are pouring from her box, Ken doesn't know how to react. He simply freezes in fear as the creature approaches him. Even though its shadow gets close to Ken, places its hands on him. He finally regained consciousness. Among those who were still alive, Ken was the only one of the 3 zombie warriors who was covered in blood. Not only that, but he also had an electronic collar around his neck, one that suppresses a person's magical powers. The protagonist realizes that he and the others are being taken to a prison called the Academy. One of the guards leading the prisoner says that the protagonist has bad luck, as he's being taken to the public prison built 7,000 meters above the ground. Only the most despicable people in this world Ken grows anxious, saying that regular high schoolers like him should be the best this new world has to offer, just like in the stories he usually reads. But the opposite is happening, and he says this just isn't right. And he wonders what will become of his life from now. He doesn't even know what happened in his previous life, and asks himself if he died or something like that. In any case, he is lined up with the other prisoners. A woman introduces herself as the warden of the Academy prison. She says that just by looking at the prisoners, she feels disgusted. She also says that by the looks on their faces, they don't seem to feel any remorse for their sin. But she's not surprised, as she says they are the cancer of this surprise. Therefore, they must open their eyes and see their new reality from now on. Because this place is home for many, the New Lord General, and vampire out for revenge. The warden says there is literally no way to escape from them. And among all the prisoners, there's one who catches her attention. She approaches the protagonist and says he has piqued her interest. Hearing this, Kim becomes even more desperate. In any case, the warden says not to forget her, or else they might end up dead. Then the prisoner starts mumbling. Soon, the warden asks if he has something to say. The prisoner says yes and begins to insult her. Immediately, the warden destroys her intent everything. She says she forgot to mention something, and states that the reason she chose to the warden is so if they want to live properly in the town, they'll have to be there, because she's sure the others don't want to die like that last person. They're being taken to the cell. The guard says he wants to start by hearing King's Hughes and Queen and says that the church says the last question. However, the board says he's been looking for her, and she's only certain that the solution of the whole is working perfectly, but asks if he is resilient because of his nervous strength. Speaking of that, the protagonist tries to stay strong, and says he is not guilty.
Welcome in. If you're new, please subscribe and like.
And the first that's within him, great things that help him, which surprises the interrogator, and even the prison warden. It surprised even to Kim himself. He not only broke free, but also healed the injuries caused by extreme suffering. So he imagines this must be due to his ability. The warden says he was being subjected to hallucination-induced suffering, yet still managed to free himself, and she doesn't think this is due to a normal ability. She says it's due to his Storage-Tech ability. The interrogator speaks up and says it might not be exactly that. He says it's probably because of the loose collar, since he had to get the hallucination ability to work directly on the prisoner's brain. In turn, Kim says he's been subjected to extreme suffering for a while. On top of that, he was drugged, so he asks if they're insane. He also asks if human rights don't exist in this world. The warden says that in the past, there was a race with 2 horns on the floor. They all lived in a small village. It was an ordinary village with about 300 people, very peaceful. But one day, some of the birds showed up. That warrior's village was called God. They were allowed to use the beat. Before the word before that guy's life, said all he had to do was say nothing, or fix it. She said of her hands, treat this world like a video game map or a fantasy story, and because of that, using them he doesn't feel any guilt. In turn, Kim says he didn't eliminate the accusation, claiming he had nothing to gain from doing so. But the warden doesn't believe his words. He can't stand Sioju, and she tells him to listen carefully to what she's about to say, and says the most important thing in Gehenna is to plead guilty to what you've done. Innocent or guilty, it's not their job to find out the truth that way. Gehenna is just a penal institution. The director says her job is not to focus on detail, but rather to correct and teach the prisoners. Therefore, the warrior Kim Sioju has to leave for this world, and then Kim is thrown into his cell after getting beaten up by the director. The protagonist thinks that life in this world isn't easy, and doesn't find it much different.
I had a potato gun once.
The only
I bet
difference
it works
is that
just the same.
he had someone who cared about him. While in this world, he has a friend, a lovely companion. His only companion is solitude. Nothing more. At least that's what he believed until now. Because shortly after, he sees Princess Teddy in front of him. Kim asks how she got there. The princess simply smiles and asks if he would like to leave this world. What this is, it's an illusion. His eyes tell him it seems very he holds Princess's hand and realizes it's really her. Then Kim sees that she is a partner since he saw her die. He says he's curious about how she's
Shoot down the enemy missiles before they hit
and says that, indeed, she is no longer in the plane of the living in her physical body. So what Kim is seeing Says yes, not only that, but he believes he deserves the
Sky's all clear.
Though he said this means, he says he really likes Amber's ability to predict everything. However, he says that her body still can't match the ability of her eyes, and her weakness is only being able to focus on the same target during combat. Amber says she just realized that. That's why it's important to know the pros and cons of your abilities, or else, who knows? And that bear might return as a sword. She asks if the captain likes bears, and if she should buy one because she can buy one during her vacation later. Captain says there's no need. Changing the subject, Amber asks why the prison warden isn't there. He says he doesn't know. She must have been called for something more important and might be found later. Amber then asks neither the warden nor the constable because he says yes and asks if she doesn't find anyone suspicious. But they'll be summoned the lawyer didn't see how much and since internal matters of the attorney are also legal, the captain believes there is a traitor inside the attorney. Back to the protagonist, he thinks that the execution of the escaped crime is today, and he wonders if this is really happening. Just the number of guards on duty is around 22, and all of them are armed, so he wonders do guns also exist in this world. It says the guard is holding a rifle within 15 minutes. I'll be capable of shooting with 15 meters away. Titania, in turn, starts drawing attention. When Kim asks what she's doing, she tells him to stay quiet, that no one can see her except people who focus and listen carefully. She says that in 30 minutes, they will end their surveillance. There will be an ambush while they're taking Kim back to his cell. She says he must be ready for what's coming. The protagonist thinks there's no guarantee that doing this will be done right. However, this is the only way to keep free of severe punishment. This is his choice. The guard checks to see if Kim's side will do it. It says he'll remove this control device for about 3 minutes to measure the strength and purpose of his ability. And he says that if Kim approaches the guards during that time, they'll have permission to eliminate him from the field. He then tells him to step in and move quickly. The protagonist feels quite nervous until he arrives in the room, being escorted by the prison guard. One of them tells Kim Seo-joon to step forward. Titania says that apparently they are checking Kim's
Okay,
abilities to
Bentley.
assign him a
I'm in
task
position
or
inside the
something
guest
special.
house.
But
Have
she
any
says
intel
he
for
will
me?
use his ability
Well,
so she
I
tells him
recommend
to shout the
searching
name
all
of his
the
ability
rooms.
to activate it
It's
and imagine that he
statistically
has another
probable
finger
that
and touch it.
each should
Now she
hold
tells
at
him to
least
go
one
and that she'll be
portion
waiting
of a
because there's
tuxedo.
a sensor
What do
nearby.
I look for
So
inside the
originality,
rooms?
thinking about
This
it.
isn't an
And
exact
we never
science.
really knew how to use
Ransack
it.
the place
Either way,
until you
one of the
find
guards
part of a
tells him to stand
tuxedo.
still, right
Any
in the
plan
center
which
of the room.
involves
After
ransacking is
that, he
okay
tells
with
Kim
me.
to try using his ability on the tuxedo, but he has no idea how to do it. Still, he wants to try as the princess instructs.
Attention guards,
So he shouts
this
the
is
name of his
Lord
ability.
Rajan.
However,
The party
nothing
here is in
happens,
full
and the
swing
ability
and
is
all
not
visitors
activated.
are now
The
in
guard
the room.
asks what he's doing and tells him to hurry up. Kim thinks it's his first time doing this,
Not
so
all
they
of the
should be a bit
guests
more
are.
understanding.
So be
First, he
careful
knows
of
this
the
ability
crowd.
doesn't work with
I
distance.
don't want
He
any bad
believes that
impression
simply
on this
shouting the
event.
name isn't the way to activate it. So he tries to imagine having another finger, trying to touch and activate the ability. That way, he gets a result, and is surprised by what he sees. Through his eyes, he sees a list of items, like a system. Not only that, but the inventory doesn't seem to have limits. It appears to be infinite. The guard says he was expecting something impressive, since he had never heard that name before. But it turned out to be a bad space-based ability. Kim is certain this is a regular inventory, like in games. Usually, the man was, protagonists tend to have excellent abilities. Something happened before he was testing his abilities. Princess Natania was smiling, different from now, where she has a blank expression. That's awkward, but he doesn't think he disappointed her. He imagines it might simply be because it's an ability she's never heard of. Or maybe there's something about this storage
This
ability that
room's
he
all
doesn't know.
cleaned
The
out.
guard tells Kim to return the diamond to its original state. His ability test revealed. Kim wonders whether he should choose something from the list or not, but he can't even choose from the system with his hand. A guard wonders what's going on with Kim, because it looks like it's his first time using it. The prisoner appears and says that's exactly the case. The guard started to see the prisoner weeks and weeks, but reported he didn't eat when he attacks him. Wounded, the guard falls to the ground. He begs for his life. The prisoner isn't moved to talk. He finishes the guard off without a second thought. The other guards take a while to notice it, but shortly after, they witness another of their colleagues being taken down right before their eyes, and they prepare to shoot at the prisoner. The protagonist sees this and asks the princess what's going on, because he thought the plan would only be carried out after the skill analysis process ended. In turn, Natania says she doesn't know that person, and this is not part of her plan. The prisoner is acting on her own. She causes a massive explosion in the area. Apparently, she's enjoying life. About 10 minutes earlier, the guard approaches his friend and asks if he's eating again already. He also says he ended up cutting himself while messing around. His friend asks if he caught a cold too, because it seems they're in the cold season. Then his friend suddenly collapses to the ground, coughing up blood. The guard is soon has no idea what's going on. However, his time is short. He to the ground. The guard forces him to the guard follows. He said the field not committed after being inside. His friend promised that Slycooper was certainly ambitious with her goal. Meanwhile, prisoners were being led to the monitoring room. Their handcuffs were being removed because they were about to have their abilities tested. One particular prisoner carefully scrutinized the environment before action and mapped out the guards' location. One of the shadow entities rise from the floor. She immediately she waited to stop the approach quietly without drawing attention. Then she called one of the guards, saying she needed to go to the bathroom. She could go, as the guard said she had to go through inspection first. Only afterward could she go to the bathroom. Seeing her reaction, the guard said she must be up to something. He then told her back up, so the prisoner found herself cornered and said she'd been exposed, ordering the shadows to attack. The guard was completely confused, and soon the shadows began to advance.
Welcome in.
She broke free from the handcuffs that bound her and ran away from the others, until one of the guards started chasing her. The person realized the guard was very fast, even when his comrades were eliminated before his eyes.
If you're new, please subscribe and like.
She said that's what makes her skin like
You might need to use your stealth attack in here.
but she wasn't
Remember, the triangle button knocks guys up into the air, and the square button brings them down
The guards who
hard.
were still standing kept shooting. Smoke covered a large part of the area, and from it emerged the prisoner, mocking the guard. They were furious at her provocation, and fired even more shots, but it was useless, as the light wasn't hit. Instead of striking her, the bullets began floating around her. Ironically, they said it was too powerful. The guards couldn't understand how that was possible, because space was open, and the bullets didn't hit her. Soon the leader ordered everyone to retreat, because the prisoner was about to strike back. Just as he said, the girl was using her abilities to retaliate against the guards' attacks, and with a single command, she returned the shots, hitting all the guards in front of her at once. She went up to one of them and grabbed a blade, saying that now she wanted to go after him. Speaking of him, the protagonist is in shock at what he just witnessed. Unlike the girl, who's clearly having fun, she says she's really tired and asks for no to help her. One of the shadows says someone had to watch the show. Kim wonders what's going on, because he knows this wasn't part of her business. Either way, he thinks the path is clear. There aren't just one, but two sides trying to free him from a false accusation in the process of yourself. Unlike that, the team thinks the situation doesn't stop. The relentless prisoner approaches and tells Kim not to be scared.
Welcome in. If you're new, please subscribe. Please, please.
Says tells Kim she shouldn't follow her for now. And she says Kim doesn't need to worry about it. The shadow calls her at Keiko and says they don't have much time. They need to get out in 5 minutes now. Keiko says she knows that and she's not an idiot. introduces herself and says he must call her and he must listen. So Kim does, but he's shocked by the number of corpses on her. Pico asks him if he's scared of this spider, and realizes that's her. What? Makes it seem like she's used to this kind of situation.
Yo, this is a game.
But Pico says her mother used to do something different. Then she tells Kenny to close his eyes, claiming that it would be less scary that way. However, the protagonist disagrees, because he's too scared to calm down so easily.
He was cheating me, bruh.
Every second is
The
precious,
fuck?
and she shouldn't be playing around. Amber appears, and the shadow tells her to let me pass her. She says she can't find a shadow. The shadow says that all shadows share the same vision. Amber says that this is her first time doing it. The shadow tries to strike her with an elite attack. In turn, Amber thinks the enemy is a feat, and the real attack comes from another direction. Not only that, but this body is altered by the shadow. In fact, the shadow tells Pico that the enemy has demon eyes, and her ability allows her to see the shadow and slices it in half. Kim and Pico are left frightened. Amber approaches and sees the two of them. So she just has one more intruder to deal with. Amber stares at the shadows and sees that they're together. But she doesn't understand why everybody is this way. Honestly, she doesn't get it, because according to the information, this must be the way of the traitor inside of the camp. So she starts to wonder if the intruder, or she considers that it could be something. There's no inside trying to get consumed by the prison. So Amber doesn't understand what's happening. The princess thinks that if they're not Earthlings, they shouldn't be able to see her. Possesses mana ability. Amber in turn says that for now she'll put King Seoju on the back burner. She launches her attack, leaving the protagonist aside, and heads toward Ipeco. Ipeco thinks she's being attacked from a difficult angle to deal with, precisely because the lower half of her opponent's body is a snake. Amber attacks with an energy sword and keeps intensifying her attacks. Meanwhile, Ipeco dodges the blows. Amber makes the attacks are barely missing and concludes that the girl has a defense-type ability, and perhaps that form is related to spatial manipulation. She's moving one step faster, so Amber can see the mana she can use through her mana ability. Suddenly, the protagonist tries to use his ability, and is surprised himself as he didn't believe he'd be able to. Beyond that, he sees they are quite fast and can't be human. The princess says they have perfect powers and techniques. That's due to the mana control they possess. She also says this serves as a reference for the hero to get used to abilities and mana, and that even the hero must at least do that. Pico says she's going to finish this in 2 minutes before Gehenna's reinforcements arrive, but there won't be much mana left. Shortly after, the battle begins. Both girls are using their powers. The energy released by both is quite intense. Amber stares at her opponent with a full blow. Meanwhile, an attack approaches her, but she manages to defend herself easily. Pico tries to strike from the rear, but Amber notices and defends in time. Pico realizes Amber can see everything, and wonders if spatial distortion is her ability. Not only that, but she says Amber is releasing mana deliberately. For her, it's hard on this side because of the cost-benefit and efficiency ratio. Amber, on the other hand, is able to her powers. As she approaches, she leaves Pico
Now that you've got a complete tuxedo, the doorman will let you into the ballroom.
Kim, seeing that, is extremely distressed. Martial arts that is says there are on the other hand, the snake girl thinks that we might complete the power in a large-scale battle. And Pico is here in a situation where they must let the magical power they want to escape the Titania says he still can't make a rational decision and still can't reason. Kim says that she has a storage ability too. No, it's a regular use force. Titania says that the end of this fight isn't about subjugating or surrender, and asks if Kim is ready to kill his purpose. The protagonist replies that whether he wants or not, he's already at the center of the
got your tuxedo now, sir?
Of course I do. I'm here to dance.
Then come on in.
Your tuxedo disguise is working perfectly. No one will recognize you in that outfit. Now, during the heist, you'll need to dance with Carmelita to keep both her and the crowd distracted. The only problem is, she's picky about dance partners, so you'll need to impress her first.
All right, I know just the girl for the job. Constable Neela, you look lovely this evening.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
I used to chase after you back in Paris.
Paris? Slycooper? You aren't by any chance here to turn yourself in? Old Ironsides would fall out of her dress.
As good as that sounds, how about a dance first?
Enchanté.
Try to memorize the steps. Now your turn.
Are you using me to get at Old Ironsides?
Yes, I am. Do you mind?
Not at all.
That fellow is very graceful.
If only you moved spice shipments as well.
Silence.
Thank you. That was delightful.
Thank you, Constable Neela. After all, it takes two to tango.
Yes, and three is always a crowd. Neela, your friend here is quite an accomplished dancer. I tried to make him look good. Please, Neela, his skills far surpass you.
Perhaps later you and I might share a dance, Miss...
Miss Fox. Carmelita Fox. And I accept.
All right, boys, we're ready for the next
If you're new,
phase.
please subscribe and
My
like
plan
the
to
channel.
get at the Clockwork Wings requires the use of the electric winch above the ballroom. To get control over the device, I'll need to hack the computers in Rajad's boardroom. Plus, we'll need an extra strong saw blade to cut the wings off the statue. To make a saw blade that durable, I'll need Sly to steal the gems off the headdresses on Rajad's prize elephants. And finally, I'll take to the field with my remote control helicopter and nullify the palace's surface-to-air defenses. That should clear things up for the heist. Sly, we need to find a way to get Rajad's prize elephants out of their pen.
I don't know, Bentley. That door looks pretty heavy. Maybe I can crawl in that hole under the steps and find an alternate route.
Around the palace.
Wow, you sure look spooked.
A job well done, Sly. Now comes the hard part. I need you to snatch the headdress.
If you're new, please subscribe and like the channel, please.
Jewels are firmly embedded, so keep whacking at them with your cane to knock one loose.
I'll need to make use of the rooftops to get to one of the elephants' backs, but it shouldn't be a problem.
PlayStation 5.
He also says he wrote things before
PlayStation 5.
But he finds it strange that him supposedly eliminated because of the community.
Yeah, they put it on PlayStation 5.
It doesn't matter. Furthermore, according to his statement, there was another person at the scene. Caleb claims there's solid evidence.
If you haven't subscribed yet, can you subscribe, please?
That trace is like a fingerprint with unique characteristics in different colors.
Please. Be
So
most.
all the man traces found.
It'd be most appreciated. Hey Michael, what's up? I was trying to tell you last time you was in here. I made you a mod. But you left so fast, I was like, dang. But I'm good, how are you? No problem. So I noticed you've been coming back. You and Scary Man been coming back, so I appreciate you guys coming back. I need more mods anyway, so it's like, hey, let me. So I don't got that many mods. So what a freaky freak. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good. That's good. Let's get the hair. Appreciate you coming. I appreciate you guys coming in for real. Damn. Yeah, I've been trying to. Yeah, I've been trying to, for real. Yo. Yeah, get out here.
Jump over that elevator. If he tries to slap you off his back.
Welcome in. If you're new, please subscribe and like.
Focus on the other one.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
ultra-hard radial saw for the heist.
I can get that because it was on PlayStation 2.
Because that would explain how he knew which airship they boarded, and that
So I can see that.
Akiko wonders if she's just a puppet in a predestined future, and what if failure was inevitable? She had accepted her fate a long time ago, but at the very least, she wants to save Kim Seoju. Therefore, she wants to play this game to the end. The protagonist tries to face the enemy, but ends up being cornered by him.
I'm in position with the RC chopper. All systems are go to neutralize their surface-to-air defenses. We're going to need free reign of the sky during the heist.
Well, be careful. Chopper parts aren't cheap.
Hostile has been sighted.
Hey, Bentley, use the left analog stick to steer the chopper and hit the X button to drop bombs. If you lose track of the Jeep, I'll project a holographic targeting arrow. Follow it back into the action. Launching missiles. Turn hard to dodge them.
Hostile has been sighted.
Hey, Bentley, use the left analog stick to steer the chopper and hit the X button to drop bombs. If you lose track of the Jeep, I'll project a holographic targeting arrow. Follow it back into the action. Launching missiles. Turn hard to dodge them. Partner. That Jeep's out of commission and we'll have clear skies for the heist.
rotund features prevent him from fitting through the drain pipe, so we'll need you to unlock the vault room from the inside. I've heard through a reliable source that the guards keep the vault combination written beneath one of their break tables.
So you want me to crawl under each till I find it?
That's the idea.
I don't see any code.
Try another table. It's here somewhere.
Attention vault room guards. Allow no guest entry to the inner workings of the palace. This party is supposed to be legitimate, and I don't want my flawless reputation being spoiled by some...
No code here. This is it.
Fantastic. Now, type the code into the vault's laser door entrance.
This is it.
Fantastic. Now, type the code into the vault's laser door entrance. Nice work. Make your way to the security lockdown switch and let in me and Murray.
Thanks for breaking us in, pal. The Murray approves.
Let's get down to brass tacks. I need to hack both the vault room computers to get control of the electronic winch above the ballroom.
So what are me and Sly here for?
The second I enter their servers, they'll be on to us. You guys need to work together to keep the thugs off my back.
You and me, pal, side by side.
The Murray knows no fear.
Okay, I'm in. Hacking the level 6 barrier. Almost there. Got it. Moving on to the level 5 system. Okay, I'm close. Changing back for level 4 access. Almost got it. Okay, going for level 3. I'm so close. Yes! Headed for level 2. Almost have it. Going for level 1 access. This is tense. I can taste it. I'm unstoppable! I've got control of the winch. Thanks for the backup, guys.
No problem. Me and the
If you're
big
new,
guy
please
had it
subscribe
covered.
and like.
Murray, let's hook up the direct feed and get out of here while the coast is clear. Okay, synchronize your watches. This heist is going to take extreme precision. Here's the plan. I'll start things off by demolishing the palace's main bridge. That should cut off reinforcements from the guest house and hopefully distract the ballroom guards standing watch over the clockwork wings. Sly will then take Carmelita up on her offer for a dance, and while the crowd is transfixed by their tango, Murray will lower into the ballroom on the electronic winch. Once down, he'll cut the wings free and then winch back up for an exit. Murray should then make his way out of the palace. I'll cover his exit with the RC chopper. Once he's past the drawbridge, we're home free. I'd love to see the look on Rajad's face when he finds this vault empty. The code should be 857. You've gotten the insanity strike move!
Okay, Bentley. Murray and I are moving into position. You still think you can demolish something that large?
It doesn't take an engineer to figure out how to blow up a bridge. I'll start by placing charges on all of the lower cleats. Once the structure destabilizes, those retainer rings on the upper cleats should pop right off. That should enable me to bomb all of the upper cleats, which will bring it all crashing down.
Just watch your head when that thing gets unstable. We need that brain of yours in one piece.
Last one. Uh-oh, the bridge is starting to crumble. Better watch out for falling stones. Just 2 more cleats down here. That's it for the lower section. Now for the main support beams. chopper. Good luck.
What? The bridge is destroyed? Take all the manpower you need and look into it.
Murray, you in position?
Check.
It looks like Bentley's little distraction did the trick. Initiate Phase 2. I'll take care of Carmelita and the crowd. You handle the heavy lifting. Miss Fox, I believe you owe me a dance.
About time. I thought you had left.
Just waiting for the perfect moment.
What? A thief above the statue!
to me. Are you in law enforcement?
I often deal with police while on the job.
Ow!
What? A thief above the statue!
You look familiar to me. Are you in law enforcement?
I often deal with police while on the job.
A thief above the statue!
to me. Are you in law enforcement?
I often deal with police while on the job.
Ow!
What? A thief above the statue!
I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'll be live later on if you're still anybody's still there. And yeah,
What was something I was supposed to test out?
what?
It's the Kamehameha stuff.
They got that shit in there?
I think a couple ones with them, but I ain't had the necessary equipment.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, what the fuck is going on? How can I? Yes.
That shit crazy.
Damn. How long can you hold that bitch?
As long as I got FP, but I'm in the room with unlimited FP, so it's
What the fuck?
and then you got this right here. It's green. So now it's blue. Now, my bad. There we go.
I was trying to get you in there with man, because it got shit, a lot of crazy shit right there. You know, well, this used to be my favorite weapon movie. No, you good. But this was my favorite fucking weapon in the fucking original right here. This shit right here. You got it from one of the rock tanks. Yeah, don't tell me it took me up on the city. What? He didn't even tell me it took me off. Like, you bitch ass niggas.
You have to look yourself better.
No, it's not that. Listen to this in the original.
How many people are on?
No, the game. You just gonna stream it, so I can fit.
You gonna do that by yourself?
I try to. I get this up now. Oh my god, yes.
Na, 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 na.